Firefighters were up early, preparing for the worst around the Western Downs township of Tara.
Today's going to be a terrible day. Our crews are prepared for this as best as we can. We've worked with the landowners as much as we can. Today we're purely looking at protecting people. With conditions today, these are the type of fires that will take life.
Fires have been burning across Queensland for more than a week. The most destructive have been in the Western Downs, where hundreds have been evacuated, more than 50 homes destroyed, and 2 lives lost.
This is a difficult period and it's going to be a difficult summer. We are seeing more extreme weather events and they are more intense.
As temperatures soared this afternoon, more communities in the southern Queensland and Wide Bay regions were told to leave or take shelter as life-threatening fires broke containment lines.
I've been out there firsthand. Can I tell you, it is actually very distressing. Some people have lost everything. Everyone wants to do all they can to help.
It's probably another 2 days before we get some sort of reprieve because we see some of these windy conditions that we've had today move into central Queensland. But we have got amazing people that are battle-hardened right across the state that continue to step up.
Joining me now from Tara is our reporter Stephanie Zillman. Stephanie, tell me what the people of Tara have experienced.
Good evening, Sarah. Well, fair to say it has been an incredibly challenging and emotional week for the residents of Tara and the surrounding regions. We've met many people who had to wait and endure the not knowing, being in evacuation centres and camped around town in their cars, left in the dark wondering had they lost it all. We met one man today, for example, who absolutely has lost everything except the clothes on his back. It was heartbreaking to hear his story. He had just seconds to evacuate. He'd been keeping a close eye on the fire but was taken aback by just the sheer ferocity and was sort of caught unawares. So he had just seconds to evacuate. And to hear his story today with how much he has lost is devastating and emblematic of what so many people in this region are now facing.
So, Stephanie, tell me, was the intensity of these fires different to what people had previously experienced? And is that why so many homes were lost?
That's right, Sarah, and people in this region are certainly no stranger to fire. Already earlier this year in February they faced similar conditions, but in talking to the fire controllers this morning, what has made this round a bit different is the wind, so both in direction and speed. So it's been changing constantly and the conditions have meant that firefighters have struggled to get on top of the multiple fronts that have been burning throughout this region. Just when they thought they had one particular area it flared back up again, and that's been part of the reason why so many homes have been lost. 53 homes now at last count all throughout this Tara region. So in terms of the ferocity, this is seeming unprecedented.
And tell me about the warnings people were able to receive. That is a lot of houses lost. Were people getting early enough warnings? What was happening?
There seems to be a bit of mixed messaging around it. So the man I mentioned a moment ago, for example, he was caught unawares and had just seconds, literally seconds. He had the Rural Fire Brigade on his property yelling at him to evacuate. He jumped into his car and the fire was raging up the street as he sped into town. Other people feel that, if anything, the warnings were over the top and they didn't need to evacuate when they did, and they felt that they could stay and defend their property, especially farmers and pastoralists who had those resources and stood to lose too much and felt that they could stay and defend their properties. So I think that there will be a lot more to come on that front, but certainly there seems to have been a mixed feeling among the community members that we've spoken to about whether those warnings have felt adequate to them.
And tell me, in terms of the firefighters, because of course it's not over yet, do they have enough resources? What's the situation for those fighters continuing to fight on fire fronts tomorrow and the day after?
That's right, Sarah. This situation in southern Queensland is far from over. Today, at one stage, there were 80 fires burning across the state. Crews are stretched. They have had assistance come in now from Victoria, from far-flung places of the state, and later in the week we'll even have some crews come in from New Zealand to assist, but they are fatigued, and that was really clear when we were at the fire centre this morning on the outskirts of Tara. People are really tired. This fire has been going in this region alone for 8 days, and they have been working non-stop. So the worst, could be yet to come. They are planning for weeks and weeks of fire containment across Queensland. And as of tonight, this region is still very much an active fire, and crews are still working very much to get it under control.
Steph, thank you very much for joining us. And do me a favour, just check in on that man and see how he's doing tonight or tomorrow morning, will you?
We will. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.